This is a Tablo Unleash Your HD TV, which some sort of box. It comes with power, my Goodwill receipt, Ethernet cable, and a quick start guide. But so what? Maybe we should try this out. Maybe after I'm done with the teardown, I'll try using this thing. So let's go ahead and open it up. Maybe it's possible to hack this thing or something. I have no idea what's in here. So this is supposed to be some sort of over-the-air DVR and some sort of media servery thing. It's for like cord cutters, but and again, it's designed that you can, with an external drive, you can DVR over-the-air stuff. Wow, that did nothing. Why would you even have that played if it did nothing? So this is the heatsink. And a little pad for the main chip on here. Oops. What with the antennas and such. Okay. So we have probably just a standard little computer type board. They've glued in the Wi-Fi module. It's an Atheros 1. There's not much to this. We'll clean off that little bit of heat sinky pad that got stuck on there.
Alright guys, we'll take a look at the board now. We've got the Vixus Xcode 5190, which basically does the exact task this machine needs. It can input video streams and DVR it or stream it to other devices on the network. It's pretty much just purpose-built and not really anything we can mod as far as I can tell. Up here we've got the Nanoram. It is each one of these chips is 2 gigabits of DDR3, 1600 megahertz max. So we've got a total of 8 gigabits, which is about 1 gigabyte, which I think is what they spec, so that's correct. Over on the front end here, we can tell we've got the coax go into this first shield, and then there's 2, because I believe this is like a 2 or a 4 channel model. I'm not quite in the understanding, but it can take multiple streams simultaneously and deal with that. So this little chip, the MN88436, is a I2C ATSC demodulator, which basically means that it has a analog to digital converter front end. It can pick whether it's ATSC or QAM video, and then it uses a little multiplexer, and then it outputs I2C data into the actual chip that can then handle it. Not much else on this side of the board. There's just a little tiny bit of protection here and there, but that's it. The other side has a lot more stuff. Here we've got some Spansion 8 gigabit NAND flash. Probably just contains the code and some other stuff. Here we've got a bunch of almost identical power supplies with a look. I think the only thing that's different is the inductor value. No, actually I lied. The passes are different too. So yeah, these are just, it's obviously just making the different voltages that this requires. And at the top, there's actually this weird thing. Is this aardvark, which I have no idea what the aardvark protocol is, and then the SPI IF interface. So the SPI interface. But yeah, nice little spot there, and they're actually lacking some components. That's probably debug. And this looks actually, I was going to say this was a coin cell. It actually looks like a capacitor, like a super cap for some sort of battery backed clock or something, but it doesn't seem to have anything for that. So, and there's another header here. Well, actually there's a few tiny headers everywhere, probably some form of test point or something. So each power supply actually has its own test point that if we power this up, we should be able to probe each of the rails and see what voltage they're popping out. Interesting. There's a few other chips, including what's probably just a little transceiver for the Ethernet port, input protection, and then the Wi-Fi chip here is an Atheros WPEA 25INBT, so it's 802.11 ABGN plus Bluetooth, so everything you could possibly want, but it's only 2.4 gigahertz. You know, that's fair, I guess. It should be really all you need since it's just streaming. I don't know how many streams you can do simultaneously, probably just one, but DVR is multiple, but that's not sending out the data, so. But as always, if you want perfect performance, just put it on Ethernet. So that's about as exciting as this unit is. Okay, so if you're connecting the Tablo up to Wi-Fi, you'll need to use the app, connect to its Wi-Fi, and then set it up from there, giving your passwords on. If you connect it up over Ethernet, which I did, directly connecting it, you can just go ahead and go over to my.tablotv.com. And what that'll allow you to do is you'll see a listing of every tab. Oh, actually, it doesn't even let me. You'll see a listing of all of your Tablos on the network. You'll go ahead and click connect. And then you'll be brought up with probably a not working screen here. So we'll pop over to the settings like you'd be expecting. So when you first get your Tablo, you'll need to format your hard drive, which it's already been done. You definitely need to format it. I don't think in any way it will let you use it, or at least not when you connect an exFAT device such as this one. If you have a subscription, you can do stuff here. Subscription gives you some extra features, but it is a payment, and if you're buying this to be a replacement for subscriptions, then this obviously is not an option. But if you want to spend the $4 a month, you get some weird extra features that I'm not too concerned with, such as album artwork, better descriptions, and so on. Things you could look up yourself. You can name the device here, who cares. Your maximum recording quality, I actually have it set to the recommended. You could go higher, but with a flash drive, I do not want to burn out its I.O. You can pick what screen you're brought up to when you first start. Live is fun. Turn the light on and off. So exciting. It's on a shelf, who cares. You can set up your, I'll have to blank this. You can set up your you can set up your zip code, edit your location. You can either use a zip code, or you can actually find it on a map. Here you can see all of the active channels in my area. You can actually go to edit channel lineup, and you can rescan, and it'll go through and find all the channels there. And this also allows you to select which channels show up, and you can blank one. So like grit does not come in at all, so I just turned it off. Even though it says green, it doesn't play. So yeah, I turned it off. But yeah, so that's what you have. And then you just go ahead and hit add to guide, and that'll update everything all nicely. So yeah, sorry, so often you might need to actually manually update the guide, the options here. It seems to do a pretty good job of picking up when it thinks so, but if you're planning ahead a couple days, it might be out of date. You can't use any of these things without a subscription, which is just don't record duplicates, so it checks to see the show title and goes, well, I've already got this. And I have no idea what that is. I don't know. It seems smart to have it fast, but I assume that means it doesn't buffer as much, and so there might be possible dropouts. So yeah, on the live TV you can just watch a channel by just clicking on it. So we'll do weather. That seems less likely to immediately give me a copyright strike. And after a short period of time it go ahead and loads up, so we can see TV, you can full screen it, you know, all that excitement. Since it's technically DVR, you can do some sort of hopbacks, but only whatever it has buffered. You can't, you know, skip commercials and so on because this is live TV. So from here, you can actually cast it to any Chromecast or network or similar devices, whatever you have on there. And you can obviously cast your desktop and other things. All right, so we go ahead and exit out of that. So it'll also show you what channel it's currently on or recording. The blinking icon means it's either watching it or recording it. You have an option to go up to 2 or 4 depending upon your model. And then say you want to record a show, so like Beverly Hillbillies, you just click on it and hit done, and that'll record that one show when it happens. Or you can set up your repeating options, but so that's all you'd have to do is hit done, or you can just hit cancel. The subscription would probably give you description info as far as the actual episode name and descriptions, but meh. Schedule, you can actually see what's going to be reloaded. You can actually see what's going to be recorded as well as any conflicts due to a limitation of number of channels you can simultaneously stream from. If you go into recordings, you can see what's actually recorded, so we can just pick an episode and start watching it. So you can go to Antiques Roadshow and you can go ahead and start playing it.
Antiques Roadshow from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Mickey came up to bat and I was standing behind the fence. And I said, Mickey, go home run for me. Love roses, and he had.
And here's what happens when it doesn't record correctly. I wonder if that channel doesn't come in right.
Into Cincinnati.
Let's check another. Let's check something else here. Does another Antique Roadshow come in?
I was visiting Cincinnati, Ohio.
That worked well. Okay. We move on to. Why is this even here? Move on. Great British Baking Show.
Was made possible in part by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you.
So you can see it plays. You can browse around. You can skip ahead. You can skip back. Captions if you have them on there. So that all kind of works. You can cast it, and all these simple functionalities are pretty much the same on the app. So there's not much difference to that. Again, I don't think you can set this up via Wi-Fi on the computer versus the app, but it's the Tablo. It does seem to work. It's interesting. It's should you go out and buy one? They're rough around the edges. If it's exactly what you're looking for, it works. But I got mine for $5. So if you're if you're looking into this type of thing, is it worth the $300 for an over-the-air DVR, or is it better off just to pay for actual cable TV? I find it fun. It's a fun experiment. It's just kind of interesting to be able to DVR live TV over the air with pretty much no cost, since everything's things that I already had around the house and so on. It just kind of works. I mean, obviously it has some strange quirks, but overall you can't really complain. So when the show goes into commercial, you've got two things. If you're on the computer, you can actually go ahead and scroll through and find the next spot, but on your tablet or other device, you can just use the skip ahead 30, and then if you overshoot, back 20, and you're probably in the right spot. So that's how easy it is to skip commercials on here. I'm sure it's very similar to a standard commercial DVR, but it's on your phone, so magic. So that's been the Tablo. Everyone have a good day.